You have no more excuses for gaming on a disappointing display. I decided to give this budget monitor a try, and this is now the answer that most PC gamers have been waiting for. Hey everyone, I'm Danny. Welcome to Danny's Tech Channel. Let's talk about the AOC 24G2. I'm really glad they chose such an easy name because some companies choose really overcomplicated names like the 27GL83AB. Yeah, I'm talking to you, LG. The G2 is a 1920 by 1080 23.8 inch IPS display. It's got 144 Hz refresh rate and it's a flat panel with a 16:9 aspect ratio. The G2 has a 1 millisecond MPRT, which is moving picture response time. Some say MPRT is better than gray to gray when it comes to ghosting and blur, but it's honestly just subjective. Now, it does come with variable refresh rate technologies such as NVIDIA G-Sync or AMD's FreeSync, which you're gonna want those features. To have so many things included in such a budget-focused monitor is why I wanted to check out the G2 in the first place. When I opened this thing up, I didn't expect a whole lot in the box because of its budget price. If you're wondering about the price, I'll talk about that in a second. Surprisingly, this monitor comes with an HDMI cable, the DisplayPort cable, the power connector, an instruction manual, and the stand arm and the base. It's a very solid arm made of plastic and a wide aluminum base also covered in plastic. They match well together. It's easy to attach the monitor using a quick release clip system, and the base screws in with a captive screw as well, so there's no tools required for assembly. There is plenty of movement with this monitor. You have the ability to raise it up and down, you can pan from side to side, or you can tilt up and down to your liking. Let me take you for a quick walk around the monitor so you can have an idea what kinds of ports and plugs this thing has. The front of the monitor is a semi-matte finish with almost invisible bezels. It's got a dark red accent trim and it can be seen by the front if that's something you're concerned with. The base also has a red ring on it as well that can be seen from the front too. Along the back, there's plenty of red accent pieces in arrow shapes on both sides of the monitor as well as down the support arm. This monitor is also VESA compatible. It's the 100 by 100 mounting location. Underneath the monitor is two HDMI 1.4 ports, a DisplayPort 1.2, one D-sub port, a 3.5mm headphone out, your power connector, and 5 control buttons more toward the front of the screen. So let's talk price on this thing. I've had this monitor for about 4 months now, and back in April, I paid $169.99 USD. That's 26% off its original MSRP of $230. Not a bad price for so many gamer-focused features. If you're in the market for a monitor but don't have hundreds of dollars to spend, this is your best option. Now, there are a few small details I was concerned with when I first unboxed my purchase from Amazon. When you go on AOC's website, I noticed there's USB ports on the pictures for the 24G2, but mine doesn't have them, and I can't find them listed anywhere. Apparently, AOC changed the monitor from its original specs when it was released in 2019, and they re-released the monitor with a new updated panel in 2020. Hardware Unboxed is another PC tech-related YouTube channel that does an excellent job covering monitors as one of their focus topics. They did a video about AOC changing this panel and performed testing on both the old one and the new one, which is currently offered. I'll leave a link to their video below if you want to know all the specifics such as response times and color performance, as well as how to tell the different panels apart. There's only a few differences between the old panel and the new panel that I've been able to figure out. These differences are: the old panel has an 80 million to 1 contrast ratio, whereas the newer one only has a 20 million to 1. There's a 4 millisecond response time on the older panel and a 1 millisecond response time on the new panel. And the older panel has a 3.5mm input jack for a microphone as well. So I'm guessing it's like a pass-through. And then possibly the older panel has those USB ports that I talked about too. So now you get a more responsive display at the sacrifice of a higher contrast ratio. I'm not sure how good these B-roll shots make the screen look, but the contrast seems just fine to me. The 24G2 from AOC checks all the boxes in my opinion. It's got 144 Hz refresh rate, it's got an IPS display, it's got NVIDIA G-Sync and FreeSync, it's a 1 millisecond response time, and it's got DisplayPort and HDMI ports included on the bottom. So you've got so many options, so many features for such a good price. I wanted to throw out a good monitor upgrade that goes to 144 Hz without breaking the bank, and I think I've done that. But if you wanted to check out more PC related content without spending a ton of money, you can check out some of my videos right over here. And as I always say, I'm Danny with Danny's Tech Channel, and I'll see you in the next one.